Hello everyone, thanks for watching this video. So in this video today we are going to understand how to find the middle element of a singly linked list. Okay, in earlier two program number 6 and program number 7, we understood that how to find the middle element of a singly linked list, which is a even singly linked list, and which is a odd singly linked list. Okay, and based on that we wrote our business logic to identify the middle element. But in this program we are just going to consolidate the logic of program number 6 and program number 7 into the program number 8. There is no difference between 6 and 7. 6 and 7, there are two programs to identify the middle element between even singly linked list and odd singly linked list. But in this program number 8, we are going to write a generic logic to identify the middle element. It's either could be a even singly linked list or it could be a odd singly linked list. Okay, yeah, so let's begin then. So if you see, we are going to do the same thing. Okay, so in order to find the middle element from a singly linked list, our first task is, as per earlier, we are going to create the singly linked list. Create the singly linked list. Okay, after creating the singly linked list, second task is to load the data. Okay, once we load the data, third task is to connect the node. Okay, after doing the connection, our fourth task is to display the singly linked list, just to make sure that we created and loaded the data correctly. Okay, and then fifth task is to get the length of singly linked list. Okay, and after getting the length, we need to identify the singly linked list. Identify the singly linked list is odd or even. Okay, now once we identify, then our next logic is to get the index value for either even or odd singly linked list. Once we get the index value, then our last task, which is 8th task, is to get the value with respect to the index value. Okay, so these are few things we are going to perform again. So create the index, we know how to create. Private static class list node. Okay, and here we are going to declare two variables as a again private type, which is integer type, call data, since I am creating linked list for integer. If you want for string, you can still create the string, just changing this int to string. Second is the reference of the next node, so I am just giving variable name as a next. And then for initialization, do the initialization of this declared variable. I'm just doing by the constructor. So this dot data, I am receiving data as a argument from user. public. Okay, so this dot data equal to data, and this dot next equal to null. Why null? Because of the last node of the each and every linked list is reference of the last node of the linked list is null until unless we have to do the linking by default. Okay, good. Now our first task is done. Second task that we are going to perform into the main method, and here is our main method that we are going to write. Okay, good. In main method, second task is to load the data, and to load the data we are just going to create the instance. First equal to new list node. Okay, and data I am just going to insert as per this PPT: 10, 20, 30 to 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and this one is the 60. Okay, since first node is also called as a head, so we can rename this one, and this one is second, this one is third. Okay, and this one is fourth, and this one is fifth, and this one is sixth. Okay, so we loaded the data as per this PPT: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Okay, good. Now our next task is to connect the node. So head node I am connecting with second node. Head means first node I am connecting with second node. Okay, and second dot next I am connecting with third node. Third dot next I am connecting with fourth node, and fourth dot next equal to I am connecting with fifth node. Fifth node, and fifth dot next equal to sixth node. Okay, for total we have six node, and all the node are connected, so we are good till now. Okay, now next task is to display the singly linked list to make sure that we are created or loaded the data correctly. So for that we are going to have one method called display, and here we are going to pass first node, that is head, as a argument, and accordingly we have to create the method. Okay, now we are going to delete this one, and we are receiving the user input here. As soon as we receive, we have to secure this output, secure this user input as a local variable name called current, and we should be having one while loop which will help me to traverse from one node to last node, and last node we are going to identify through null. So I just want this to be null until unless we have to should not reach the null. Once reach the null, come out of this loop, and we are going to print the data. How we are going to print? Current data. With each and every data I want one separator, and I want also data to be printed into the same line. Once data got printed, I want the node to be moved from here to next node. Okay, once I am coming from this while loop, means I met the null, means I met the last node, and our responsibility is also to print the last node, just to make sure that we reach the last node correctly. Now if you run a Java application, if you see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we have total 6 nodes created which has value loaded correctly. So we are good till now. Now our task is, fourth task we are done. Okay, now fifth task is to get the length. Okay, and so to get the length, how we are doing? Display length, and we have to create the method accordingly. Here also we are receiving as a head as a argument. This logic is same as display, only difference is that we will be having one counter variable, that's all. So current, okay, local variable I have created just to secure the user input, and then again I am traversing through the while loop only till until last node. So last node means does not equal to null. Okay, good. So here I am not going to print anything. I am just, since this is a program for length, and I just want to get the length only. So this will give you the movement from one node to another node, and to capture the movement I should have one counter variable. Okay, and that I am going to initialize here. Okay, counter equal to 0, which is int type. Okay, good. So as many times this code will execute, my counter will also got executed, which is by 1, and as soon as I will come with this loop, I should have all the movement captured into the counter. Okay, so I have to return the integer instead of void, since this is a length. So I am returning this counter variable. Okay, good. Now so since we are returning, so I can able to get the data int length equal to this one. Okay, now I can able to print this one just to make sure that we are doing everything correctly. Okay, so for that, good. So right click, run as Java application. If you do here, if you see length is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is perfectly fine. Length is 6. Now our next responsibility is to identify the singly linked list is even or odd. Okay, so if length %2 equal to 0 means division should not have any remainder, then I can say given singly linked list is even, otherwise this is odd. Okay, good. Just verify. Right click, run a Java application. If you see, given singly linked list is even, since length is 6. If you disconnect one node from here and if you run, it should give the odd, and length is 5. So length is 5, given singly list or odd. So our logic till now it is working perfectly fine. So we are able to identify, so we are able to done sixth logic also. Good. Now get the index value of either even or odd. This is the logic again, and we already know for even sequence or even series we should be having two middle element. Okay, so here we will be getting two middle element. So what we will do is we will create one java.util.linked array list. Okay, so something like that list which is integer type. We can create array also, no problem. Okay, but we have to make sure we are handling null pointer exception correctly. Okay, mid element equal to new array list. Okay, integer capital I, since this is a wrapper class, so not necessary, but we can pass here also generic, and we have to import it java.util. Good. So what we will do is in that middle element we will be having two, right? Two middle elements. So dot add. In that add we have the length divided by 2. This is the first middle element, and the second middle element is divided by 2 plus 1. So divide by 2 like that, you do divide by 2 plus 1. Okay, so what I am doing here is simple logic. I am just getting one, I just got the length, I verified with this even or odd. If even, then I should be having two middle element, and that I am receiving as a length by 2 and length by 2 plus 1. Okay, and both the middle element I am just keeping into this list. Okay, that I will tell you why. Okay, and if it is odd, then it should be having only one middle element. Okay, right? So now, okay, fine, good. So till now we are good. So get the index value of other. So we are done with this one also. Okay, so I'm keeping this one here itself, either since both the logic are in same place. I think this one is wrong. If you have odd means 7 divided by 2. Okay, good, fine. So we are good now. Now what we will do is we are done with here, we are done with here. Now our next task is to get the index, get the value. So for that again we are going to write one logic here, get the middle. So get middle element. Okay, and here we are going to pass two things as a argument. Okay, first thing is that head, and second thing is index, but I don't have index here. Okay, but all the index is loaded into this one. So what I will do is I will iterate this one. Okay, index, I will, since in list class I have already loaded all the index. If it is for even, then 2 index, if it is odd, then 1 index. Okay, and that same index I am going to pass here. So how basically this works, how many times how many value available here, that many times this method will got executed, and I have to write a logic to get the middle element here. So logic is very clear. Again, we are receiving two value from user. One is head and another is the index. Okay, we can say that current local variable, and we can say that what to say, user index. Okay, anything is fine. So now our task is to find the get the middle element. This is as simple as we are doing earlier also. Okay, so the same logic is that we are going to check the condition. If the node is null, means equal to null, means linked list doesn't contain any node. If doesn't contain any node, then counter equal to 0, means length is 0. I will tell you why I am writing counter. Create variable, sorry. Okay, here we have to create the local variable. Okay, and counter equal to 0. If head is null, means linked list doesn't have any node, then counter is 0. Else counter is 1. Okay, means if not null, then I can give you the guarantee that this linked list has minimum or at least one node. Maximum how much, that we can traverse and got to know. Okay, then I am start traversing from one node to another node with the help of while loop. Okay, and while loop I am just traversing current that is not equal to null, travel until you are reaching null. Okay, good. So okay, so until we are reaching null, we are start traveling. So how to traverse from one node to another node? Current equal to current dot next. So this will help you to do the traversing. So as many times you traverse, please increase my counter with 1. Okay, so I am increasing my counter here. Good now. So after increasing the counter, so that see counter will increase as many times we are doing the movement, and counter is nothing but your indexing value. It's not the data, it's index, and I have the index only. So I will just write one here, one small logic. If the user index which I am receiving from user equal to counter, means I reach the middle element, then please get me the middle element. How we are getting? Current dot data. Okay, so we can have some good log middle element, ELEMENT. Okay, is this one at index. Which index? Index will either you print counter is also fine, or if you print this one is also fine, since we are matching it here. So this one is fine. Good. So if you run this one, run a Java application, if you see here, your given singly linked list is odd. Why odd? Because I have commented this node. Okay, let's test for odd only. If it is odd, then your middle element is 20 at index 2. No, it should be 30. Why? Because 20 why I am getting, probably I made a mistake here. I should be having +1. Okay, now right click, run a Java application. If you see, index is 3, 30. So where 30 is the middle element if this is the odd. Okay, good. This is showing as a -3, no? So I have to change this one, delete this one. Okay, otherwise confusing. Okay, good now, but I have to make this as a uncomment just to have a even singly linked list. If you run this one, singly linked list is 6 length and it has 2 middle element 30 and 40, which is at index 3 and 4. So we are receiving correctly. Okay, so we can have one comment here, comment this line if you need odd singly linked list. Currently this is even. Okay, so the last logic is, you understood, right? I just have all the indexing loaded into this list, and I am just iterating this list. How many members are there, that many times I am executing this code. Okay, so let me summarize you again. Our responsibility is to get the middle element from singly linked list. It's either a even singly linked list or either a odd singly linked list, doesn't matter. We have to write a generic logic. We already covered this into the program number 6 and 7. The same consolidation logic I am covering into the program number 8. For better understanding, you can go 6 and 7 also one by one. Okay, so in order to get the middle element, I should have to create the singly linked list that I have created here. Sorry, that I have created here, which is good now. After that, I have to load the data. So I am loading the data here, 6 data, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, and this is head means first node, second node, third node, fifth node, sixth node, sixth node. Sixth node have 60 data, and I am doing the connection. And after doing the connection between each and every node, I am just doing the display, just to make sure that everything is correct. As soon as I am doing the display, after that I am just finding the length. So with this length, I am just having one logic saying that to identify the singly linked list even or odd, so that I am identify through the length only. So length, if it is divisible by 0, divisible by 2, then it is a even, else it is a odd singly linked list. Good till now. Seventh task is to identify the index value, and we know for even we will be having 2 index value, 2 middle value, and for odd we will be having 1 middle value, which is here, which is good now. So we are just loading this middle value into the one linked list, in array list, which is available in java.util class. Okay, we loaded all the middle element, and then I am iterating here this middle element. How many times, how many number of index are there, please get me the element of that one. Okay, so to get in order to get the element, I am receiving 2 input from user. One is head, one is the index from where I want the value. Okay, so and for both I am securing as a current and user index local variable. Okay, here first logic is that if the head is null, then I am assuming that, not assuming, it's I am understanding that the linked list doesn't have any node, so counter variable is 0, else counter variable is 1. I am doing the initialization here. This is nothing but the index. Okay, that I am preparing within a code. One index I am receiving from the user. Okay, so in else part, I am just assuming that if it is not null, then it has minimum 1 node. Okay, that's the reason I am initializing as a 1. Maximum it could be anything that I am traversing through the while loop. Okay, so in this while loop, I am start traversing, and while doing the movement from one node to another node, I am just increasing the counter by 1. So here I am just writing one logic. If the index which is I am getting from the user, okay, and the index what I got prepared here, if both are equal, then I have reached the index where I supposed to go. So since I reached the index, so I want the data from that index, and I got the data, and this I am just preparing the SOP. That's all. At the index here, and once done, then I am done with this one. Okay, this is the last logic. Okay, and this will be getting executed 2 times in the case of even. In the case of odd, it will be executed only 1 times, and I got the expected output here. Okay, yeah. Thanks for watching this video.